Okay, it wasn't an ordinary evening at all. It was the evening of Laxmi Puja on the third day of Tihar, one of the very best evening, if not the best, to be here at Kathmandu and just casually stroll around the streets and alleys of Basantapur Darbar Square. I think, from a photographer's perspective, you can make some really good images on this evening with lights and festive mood hanging everywhere. On this very evening, the city of Kathmandu would be decorated more than on Christmas or New Year's Day, and one can notice the decoration of color mandalas designed at front yard of the shops, exchanging the festival wishes with friends and even strangers. The festive mood does that. So, like always, I headed off to the Basantapur Darbar Square with my gears, hoping to find a photo or two that will cherish the memory of this beautiful evening. I reached there an hour before the dusk, quite early, but that is one of the most important rules in a photo walk, just to be early, scout the location to know the whereabouts and happening, and establish your presence. So I explored a bit of colorful alleys and tried to film some b-rolls for this video at the local temple and cafe area with the phone. And then, eventually the dogs arrived and the number of people hanging by tents as well, while this abandoned zoo caught my attention out of nowhere. It was well past an hour from the time I was there and I hadn't spotted anything amazing to click. So just a random city pictures at night, admiring how much of ancient art and modern architecture have fused together in this square. By the time it was 6 p.m, the peak hour of the evening, I was bored for having just everyday pictures in the gallery. That was not why I planned that evening for, but strangely, I was drawn back to the square. Didn't know why I returned there again, but I went back and this live stunt was happening. By that time, there was already a crowd flocking to witness the stunt and click photos. The artist was from abroad, so to have him on such a religious-oriented evening, it was a religious cohesion for sure. So now, I started to film and click everything from every possible vantage point. The best I can remember, there has never been a solo event of this kind at Basantapur Darbar Square ever. So it was a grateful time to just be there live and just enjoy and click the moment. It was a joyful evening of light and the artist demonstrated his art with the element of light. Like everybody else, I thought the show was over, but what he did was something out of this world.
A few moments later.
In all of us, in our hearts, there's love and light that we must realize. We need to feel, we need to use this warmth that could make bright our lives. In all of us, in our hearts, there's love and light that we must realize. We need to feel, we need to use this warmth that could make bright our lives.
Everybody present there, including me, were stunned by what we were witnessing. The spirit of fire, glorified by one professional artist to seal that evening with the masterpiece performance. Photography is a slow art. You take time to develop and nurture your compositions, but sometimes when situations are tricky, you got to be fast like a flash. So deploying the long exposure shots in action, the flame that shone in our eyes had us to appreciate the man for what he was delivering, like the Hephaestus himself, the mythological Greek god of fire. The display of natural light versus the artificial light, proving the fire was powerful of all lights. The artist allowed himself to be the limelight of the evening with his stunt. The different patterns of light, sometimes the ball of fairy fire or the electro ring, or the other times the spiral ladder-like pattern, but the one that got me excited was the spider comb-like structure. The stunt ended with this double helix DNA pattern, and shortly after he bowed down after it all ended, thunderous claps followed with once more chant, and rightfully so, having won our eyes and hearts, he became the instant hero, with people wishing to have a selfie with him, and that included me too.
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
The crowd vanished after it was over, but I stayed by a bit longer till he switched the place to display one more art, an aesthetic one I would say, at the courtyard of the Kal Bhairav and the Taliji Bhavani, the royal goddess of the Malla dynasty. The artist was highly professional in what he did, and he gave it all by his heart. No doubt he won the hearts of many people that evening. So after bidding one final goodbye, the night lurked in and it was time to go back home. On the way back to home, I passed by the famous local market of the capital to see people returning back to share this evening of light with their families. As an individual, our paths were different, but we all strived to share this moment of happiness and the warm feeling with people we cared the most, guided by one light. So yeah, just a couple more pictures in the collection and it's time to call it the night.